Hello everyone, I'm Laszlo Hegedűs, Senior Traffic Developer Officer at Kecskemét Transport Center. In the following, I will present how we solved the Kecskemét Pilot project. First, I will give a general introduction to Kecskemét and its local public transport. Then I will talk about the background of the pilot idea and the history of its development. Then I will present the main features of the launch and operation and the experiences we gained during the 6 months pilot period. First of all, I would like to introduce Kecskemét. Kecskemét is located about 80 kilometers southeast of the capital of Hungary, Budapest, and is the eighth largest city in the country. It is the capital of Bács-Kiskun County and a hometown of over 110,000 people. Due to its traditional market town past, it has a vast administrative area which includes many suburbs and other inner city districts. The development and the densification of these areas attracts intensive urban sprawl, during which not only does land use change, but the population also migrates to this outer rural urban fringe area, thereby increasing mobility needs. I would like to say a few words about Kecskemét local public transport. KECO is responsible for the city's local public transport with 54 bus lines covering 2.8 million kilometers per year with 73 buses. In a partnership with the national service provider, the network is supplemented with regional buses in 9 directions and railway services in 3 directions. Let's talk about our pilot's connection to the Interact Green Pass project. Our goal with the pilot was to introduce demand-responsive transport in Kecskemét, covering the period between peak hours in accordance with previous requests from large companies. The request concerned connecting the railway station within the southern industrial area by launching bus services during this period, serving the needs of the commuters. I would like to talk about the background. As I mentioned, we created the bus line 148 specifically for this purpose, and we aligned its bookable departure times with the arrival and departure times of the main railway line. An online journey booking interface was developed, including the journeys can be booked with the option to add additional data. In order to achieve the real journey, it was possible to book a journey only from or only to the railway station. Due to the conditional stops, these services operated on semi-flexible routes with semi-flexible travel times. Since they operated only in necessary situations and only touched the necessary stops, the vehicle and the mileage were efficient. Based on employees' demand, this DRT service operated from 8:30 a.m. to midday. The operating hours of the line were determined to cover the daytime closure of bus lines 139 and 140, which serve the area around the southern industrial area and the Mercedes factory. Now I will show you how the preparations led to the launch of the pilot on the 1st of June. There was a separated menu item in our website for demand-responsive journeys through which registrations and journey requests could be made. Since the bus operating on this route was a minibus, which did not have a stroller or wheelchair space, and it was possible that on certain routes, take a turnaround time was longer than the frequency. We closed the application 3 hours before the departure of the journey and at the final station for traffic management reasons. It's important that the journey could be used at a normal fare, but the trip could be used with a one-time travel ID received when booking the journey, with which the passenger confirmed that he or she had booked the journey. Uh, Here you can see the pre-time processes from the passenger's perspective. On the left side, the registration interface. In the middle, the booking page with the pickup and the drop-off locations. And the right side is the journey information sent in email. And you can see the service provider page. On the left side, you can see the special tablet on which the bus driver could check the passenger based on the travel code, the personal travel ID, confirm the trip, and see other important travel data. The top right image shows the map view, which could also be opened from the bus driver's tablet. Here you could track the route and pick up and drop off points summarized during the booking. Below, you can see the overall booking details and code numbers without, of course, personal data. In the event of any disruption and the administration, traffic service, and bus driver will communicate based on the travel identify SMS code. As for communication and information, uh, we have placed uniform timetable information board at each affected bus stops, bearing the mandatory corporate and project banding elements. In the DRT menu in our website, we provided detailed information about the demand responsive bus, its condition of route, of use, route, and schedule, of course. For those who are interested in the pilot itself, we also made a separate application menu under which they can find out about the currently running projects. In addition, we actively promoted the DRT service in our various social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. In addition to the usual general quarterly meeting with the large employers, we provided information in accordance with the previous stakeholder interview, focusing specifically on the pilot project and called the company's consent to let us know about their own experiences and questions. And now let's look at the statistics and the experiences. During the pilot period, we covered nearly 400 kilometers, and the monthly performance is shown on the diagram. Although there were trips to Mercedes Gate 2 and Momofuku Street, these are bus stops, but the regular trips were made to Mercedes Gate 1 and Nissin Food stops. No vehicle had to be changed due to traffic or any special requests from the passengers. Based on a personal survey, the general feedback was this type of service uh, is a really good idea due to the period covered, the flexibility and availability at the normal fare. However, the booking window was too long. We have to reduce it and would give the passenger more time to book the journey. So the journey that seems certain should be generally be selected. In our opinion, the booking window could also be reduced based on experience. We over-calibrated the needs and their full-scale service, but it was positively highlighted that the pilot bus service as an additional option can be ordered flexibly, tailored to travel needs. It's cheap and convenient. The slide below shows the difference between our actual mileage and the mileage plan calculated based on demand, broke down the bus line. Uh, it is clear that we achieved almost 98% savings in the mileage of the announced and operated demand responsive services. Uh, so the KPI 1 shows that although the highest number of announced demand responsive journeys was July, the highest number of departures was in November, and the duration of launched and announced journeys was also November. KPI 2. Uh, the correlation of departures between launched demand responsive journeys and the total launched journeys is 0.933,000, which is a really strong positive correlation. The deviation from the total correlation is influenced by the number of network level departures between summer work days in summer holiday and work days during school period, and the fact that other days off and public holidays were had on weekdays. Based on KPI 3, it can be seen that behind the outstanding July data, the Mercedes Gate 1 and railway station route was the most frequent, while the railway station Nissim Food route was also constantly used. In addition, it is also visible that Mercedes Gate 2 has only been used in June, while the Mercedes Gate 1, which has since become the most popular, did not handle any passenger traffic in the first months. Overall, it can be said that in response to previous demands from large employers in order to serve employees who commute, come from meetings, job interviews, and work atypical work schedules with public transport. We operated our pilot bus route number 148 between 1st of June to the 30th of November in 2025. The registration and the journey ordering interface has been completed, which is complemented by a separate bus driver and administration interface on which trips can be booked. Contrary to previous demands, the fraction of demand responsive journeys had to be launched, but in the For the trend shows increasingly stronger months, although it fell short of previous demands. Although the operation of DRT pilot bus routes has had many advantages, we also encountered serious changes on both the daily and strategic levels. The project is supported by the Interreg Central Europe program, co-financed by the European Regional Development Fund. The Hungarian partners' participation in that project is co-financed by the Hungarian government. Thank you for your attention.